Hello, and thank you so much for joining Nezzy's Place Kickoff Podcast. Yes, I'm back, and as promised, I'm bringing a whole different flow to the show this year. So, if you are interested in being a guest on the show, please make sure you visit Nezzy's Place, that's NEZZYSPLACE.com, and send me a message, and I'll make sure to get in touch with you. Before we jump in, I want to just take time to remind you to share the podcast, tell a friend, because the show is going to be involved around motivation, encouragement, inspiration, real topics with real people, and you won't want to miss a show. Okay, so definitely share the post with someone else. I am so excited today to have my friend, my special guest. He's a co-host today, and some of you may know him as The Voice. I think that's what he calls himself. And some of you know him as the superintendent of the city of Rochester. You know, he had to correct me because I was getting his title wrong. Some people are really funny about their titles, but I call him Scrappy. I am going to introduce to you Vincent McIntyre.
What's happening, Scrapple Dapple? Thank you so much for inviting me on to this podcast this evening. I am truly excited to be here.
I'm so glad you joined me today. I really am. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time?
We're going to have a great time.
You're going to have a good
time.
Right.
We're gonna have
okay,
awesome
so I'm
time.
a little inquisitive. Why do they call you The Voice?
The Voice. I got that name about 7 or 8 years ago working for an organization called Rock the Peace. I had the privilege, the honor to host and MC this particular event, and the team started calling me The Voice. I most recently had an opportunity to host the BMA Awards, which is the Black Male Achievement Awards, where I was the announcer for the awards, and I ultimately gained the name of the Voice of God during this event.
Okay, great. So you're trying to break out in the voiceover industry. So where do you see yourself going? Where do you want to take this?
Yeah, I'm trying to do big things with this. I would really like to get into something like movie production, something like, Disney or Shrek movies.
Oh, you want to go big time?
Yeah, kind of behind the scenes. I'm not.
You don't want to start little, guys.
Yeah.
You want to start big.
Of course, if you're gonna start, you start.
I
big.
know that's right. You gotta start big.
I'm not an out in front of the camera guy. I'm kind of a behind the scenes guy, and if I can use this voice behind the scenes, I definitely want to do that.
Okay, so what separates your voice from any other?
I'm an original.
Oh, excuse me.
I love it doing what I do.
You're a little vain, don't you think?
If I don't love me, ain't nobody gonna love me. But,
no, that's right.
I'm an original. I love doing what I do. I have a lot of fun with it, and I like to entertain people with my voice. I like to bring that crowd alive sometimes.
All right, you heard that, guys. You know, he's probably good at fashion shows. You do a lot of fashion shows, a lot of banquets and things like that.
I've done some banquets. I've done some wedding announcements. I've done some stuff for the military. I've introduced some new military equipment for the military. So I've had an opportunity to utilize my talent.
So do you do this for free or you charge?
Right now, you look, I'm trying to build my portfolio, and I will do this just for fun.
Okay.
Because I have fun doing it. Now, eventually, when I get to that Hollywood point, I want to get paid for doing
excuse me,
this.
Hollywood point.
Yeah, when I get to Hollywood.
So you're going big time.
But locally, I'll do it locally just to have some fun.
Okay. Well, on a serious note, right? I know that you do a lot of things in the city. You're part of a lot of positive programs. You're always doing something positive. Tell us about the program that you sponsor or you're involved in with the youth.
I'm in a program in collaboration with the city of Rochester and the Rochester City School District called the Pillars of Hope. And what the Pillars of Hope are, we are a group of African American and Hispanic professionals who adopt a school each year, and we have 5th and 6th grade students, male and female, that we work with, and we teach them about success. We teach them about life skills. We teach them about life. We teach them about what it takes to become a successful individual and to remain a successful individual.
That's great. That's good. So do you follow them? Do you keep in touch with them to make sure they're on the right path even after they leave the program? What happens after they leave? So tell us a little bit about what happens afterwards.
Yes, we will chart some of the young people and find out what their path of life has brought them. And, we've seen some go on to graduate from school, graduate from high school, graduate from college, and become professionals in this community where they were raised.
That's great. Did you say that one was turned out to be a policeman?
Yes, we do have one young man who went through the police academy, and he became a police officer right here in the city of Rochester.
That's awesome.
From our elementary school right here in Rochester.
That's awesome. So you have to be proud of that.
Very proud of that.
Very proud of that. That's awesome. It's a great accomplishment.
It's a great accomplishment. To
show that the program does work.
It does work.
That's
it does
right.
work. It's a great accomplishment for not only the Pillars program, but for this young man and his family.
Great. So tell me a little bit about the city of Rochester. Where do you think it needs to go as far as, because there are a lot of young kids who have lost hope. Mm-hmm. They don't have any good direction,
right.
Whether it be because there's a lack of maybe good parental guidance in the home. Where do you see Rochester going as far as the youth are concerned?
If we go back to the concept of the village, I think we would do a better job here in Rochester. We go back to the concept of real models versus role models. Real models, someone that you can touch versus a role that you can play. If we get back to raising each other's children, monitoring each other's children, looking out for our neighbors, bringing God back
That's important.
into our lives. We've taken God out of the school. We've taken God out of the community.
Yes, we have.
And in some places, I think we've even taken God out of the church.
Yes,
so
true.
once
Amen.
Once we get back focused on God and community and that village where we need our kings and queens back, I think Rochester has a lot of hope.
Yes, it does. And I guess you got to keep hope alive because from what I hear, Rochester was a very thriving city back in the day. And I've only been here for 17, 18 years. So I'm new to Rochester in a sense, and people talk about the way Main Street used to be and all the stores and how it was such a different type of community.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people would like to see that come around again.
And
you know what I mean?
I think we can go there. I think we can get back there if we just go back, kind of turn things back the way it used to be.
I believe
back
that.
The old way, the old day, I call it.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Old way, old day.
Old day, man.
I know that. Mm-hmm. So you also do active shooter training.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's unfortunate we have to have this conversation now about the active shooter programs.
Pretty sad.
But right now we are focusing on active shooter seminars on the faith-based community. Mm-hmm. We've done several hundred churches right here in Rochester, and we're willing to just reach out and visit some churches and talk about how to keep that environment safe.
And that's important. So we'll definitely give you Vincent's contact information. So if you are a pastor or maybe you know of someone who needs to have this type of training in your church, in your office, someplace, even in your business, he can definitely come in and he was definitely qualified to do that type of training for you. And it is sad that we have to think about this,
Very sad.
And what I was talking about to my sister one day was, the way our society is going, there's going to be a lot of kids who's going to need a lot of therapy, because, and if we don't bring God into the picture,
Amen.
Because they're going to be fearful to go to school, fearful to go to events, fearful to fly, things of that nature because of all the stuff that's going on. So that's a good thing that you're doing. Well, I would love to talk to you for another 15 minutes, but this is only a 10-minute show. So, I know that you are ye of long-windedness. But I definitely would want to put your information out there. So please tell the listeners how they can get in touch with you.
Yes, my professional email is mcintyrv@cityofrochester.gov. My phone number is 585-202-9998. Please feel free to contact me at any time.
Great. And before we definitely close out, what was one positive nugget that you would like to leave our listeners today?
My nugget is, if you can't change the people that you're with, change the people that you're with.
You heard it, guys, right here on Nuzzy's Place, Mr. Vincent McIntyre. And that is a great, great closing positive statement for us today. So that's our show today, guys. Tune in next Tuesday for another positive and inspirational show at Nuzzy's Place Podcast. Thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget to share And don't forget to connect with me on nezziesplace.com. Remember, it's your life, your house, and your rules. Stay positive. Until next week, ciao Bella, and have a great evening or a great night or a morning whenever you're listening. Bye.